Happy Wednesday, Frank Rock, House Flooring Sports Channel coming at you. Thank you for tuning in with me tonight. Tennessee just wrapped up in the what I did not see coming tonight, 16-0 run rule no hitter of ETSU tonight. I previewed this game yesterday, and I looked at ETSU's numbers from the weekend, and they ranked like top 10 in the nation coming out of the weekend, and lots of statistics. You would not know it tonight as Tennessee just run them out of the building tonight. When I actually missed a little bit getting in from work late, so I missed the first couple of innings. I know Tears scored early on the Wild Pitts pass ball. My first one I come in on was when Blake Burke struck out with runners on. But man, after that, it was on. After that, it was like, let's see, Amick walked, Cannon Peebles hit into the forced play at second. ETSU couldn't roll it. And it was on after that. I mean, the bats took off. It was good to see it. They kept going. And then, a guy I've talked about him in preseason, talked about him in team previews, talked about him in the infield previews. And we've not seen him up to this point due to injury. That's Dean Curley, freshman out of California. He was one of the highest ranked prospects in their class. He didn't disappoint tonight. He started at shortstop, moved Christian Moore over to second, and 3-run bomb for him, and then they just took off from there. I mean, you had numerous bombs in the inning. Christian Moore hit one to dead center. Billy Amick crushed another bomb just in that inning for what was an 11-run inning, and that pretty much ended the game at that point. So, nice job by Tennessee tonight. They took care of business. And, like I said, this was one, it being an in-state game, it being a game where, normally tensions are going pretty, tensions are going pretty high in these games. But, it's, I don't know. Sorry, I kind of got thrown off a little bit by something here, but tension's normally pretty high in these games. I've seen numerous of these games in person, and it's just that normally they hang on just a minute here. All right. Normally, I'm sorry, something kind of distracted me a little bit that didn't need there. But anyhow, maybe I can spit my thoughts out. Tennessee and ETSU, the times I've seen them play have always been good games. They have always, the times ETSU comes to Knoxville, that's, I don't know, man. It's baseball. It's going to happen. I didn't see it tonight. I didn't see that coming. Maybe that long gone are those days. I don't know where ETSU's program is in the grand scheme of things right now. It doesn't seem to me like there's much going on with that program. And, I know they had a good weekend this past weekend, but, tonight really surprised me after the offensive output they had over the weekend. But that gets me into my talking points tonight, looking at just individual statistics. How about Matthew Dallas? I said last night when I did the post game that my guess is that Matthew Dallas starts tomorrow night. I said it was an educated guess. I didn't know for sure that would be it, but that was the starter tonight. He came out, he threw 3 innings. Let's see, he had 49 pitches. He got 2 fly ball outs, 2 ground outs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no hits. Obviously, no one actually, it's saying Sharp gave up a hit on here, but the ESPN feed had it as it was a no-hitter with 1 error. So I don't know if they've gone back and changed that. But according to D1 Baseball, it says Sharp gave up a hit. So maybe they didn't have – I guess that's the old infamous like they kept overturning the calls at Texas A&M in basketball here a couple of weeks ago. But Dallas went 3 innings. Good start for him tonight. Then they brought in Dylan Lloyd, freshman out of Pigeon Forge, went 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, threw 10 pitches, had one caught looking, no walks, no hits for him. Marcus Phillips, 13 pitches. He got a fly ball, ground ball out, 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout for him. Braden Sharp, he's a freshman out of Texas. I think he's one of the two-way guys, as a matter of fact. 17 pitches, got 3 fly ball outs, 1 inning pitched. It does say he gave up 1 hit. Pretty sure it was him that was in when, who was it? Chapman made just an awesome play out in right field. It was, let's see here. Got a hit to center unless they called it an error, but it was a hit in my opinion. I did not see that part of it. The last I had seen, and maybe I looked at it wrong, was I thought it had ETSU. It had them 0-0-1 when I last saw it, like Tennessee had an error on it. So it may be a case where they changed it to a hit, or maybe they misscored. I don't know what happened on that one because I did not see the play. I was kind of doing a few things at once, trying to keep up with the game, trying to get a few things done at the same time. And obviously I did not anticipate a run rule tonight. Like I said earlier, I previewed this game yesterday, and I expected a fun kind of back and forth game because Tennessee's obviously not going to throw their main guys, but these dudes look good tonight for them. All the guys that pitched look good. And then the last guy was J.J. Garcia, freshman out of around Charlotte. 14 pitches, had a fly ball, ground ball out, had 1 strikeout, 1 inning. So, getting all these young guys those reps tonight was good. And then they got a ton of guys at bats tonight. And of course, the big thing I'll touch upon with the lineup tonight, you guys that have listened to me, you know how much I've gone about the lineup, what I've thought about the line the whole time. Tonight, Christian Moore leading off, Blake Burke second, Billy Amick third. All right, that's what I've been calling for. I said though I would have Moore leading off and Amick third. That 2 holes kind of, if Blake Burke's on, I mean, yeah, you want to have him up there, and he's had some good swings last couple games. I'm still, I guess maybe I'm waiting on him to hit that massive bomb that he hasn't hit yet, but he's hit some seeds along the way. And Cannon Peebles was back in the 4-hole tonight. Kavaris Tears did good things again tonight in the 5-hole. They had Robin Villeneuve hitting 6th. Talked about him earlier, freshman Dean Curley, man. That was good to see, and I talked about it over the weekend. Talked about it last night as well, how Tennessee's going to have to look at this middle infield a bit. They're going to have to look at. Before I move on with that, yeah, all these young arms, and I know Tony Vitello talked about in some of his press conferences, talked about these young arms, the way he's seen. You've got to be excited. You saw Derek Schaefer last night look decent. Didn't pitch too bad. I mean, we saw Austin Hundley come in last night. You saw Banky come in last night, and then you saw more guys tonight. And then on the weekend, of course, you saw, a little bit of these guys. You saw A.J. Russell, who, heaven forbid, will still be around next year as he is just a sophomore. And then Nate Snead on Sunday. They're, for the guy who wrote the article called Rocky Flop, and I called him on this, and I will give an article a chance. I'll always give it a chance to see, what you're backing it up with. And I guess that's the educator, the teacher in me. I want to see facts. I want to see you prove it to me. I teach this every day. The guy writes an article. All he says is, oh, it's going to be hard for him to replicate the pitch. And Chase Stolander, Andrew Lindsay, Chase Burns are gone. Yeah, they got a couple of nice arms out of the portal. Did not mention A.J. Russell. Did not mention Drew Beam. Did not really mention by name Snead, Causey. Did not mention any of these young arms here. And I said, listen, man, I gave it a chance, but this was a bland and a lazy article. Some joker, I guess, had hurt his feelings. It didn't get personal, but he's like, well, he said why it is. And no, he didn't. So yeah, these arms are nice that they have. These arms look good over the weekend. They didn't lose Saturday night because of pitching. Okay. It was not because of pitching. These arms are good. If you wrote that article and then you watched A.J. Russell, you watched A.J. Causey pitch, you watched Nate Snead, who a little shaky at times, but then he took off. They did some good things. They've got some good arms on this team, and I'm curious to see where it goes moving forward with that Sunday starter because Seacrest, he did nothing to lock that down on Sunday. And Snead come in, did some good things. I'm curious to see down the line if they go with a Matthew Dallas and a Derek Schaefer, both couple pretty highly touted prospects. So could some of these other guys step into that as well? But there's a lot of arms. I think you'll see a lot of guys pitch this weekend as well against Albany. I don't expect that to be a very competitive series this weekend. I'll preview that tomorrow, along with for basketball, previewing the Texas A&M game. Cannot wait for that game. I think what I'm probably looking at is post-game Friday night for baseball. Saturday, the game is early for baseball, and then the basketball game Saturday night. I'm thinking serious about shifting that post-game to a basketball show Saturday night after the game, and I don't know why last night. I thought about this morning. I apparently did not have my thinking cap on. I was like, why did I not just wait and go live last night after the basketball game? It was so stupid on my part not to do that. But I basically cut my nose off on that one. But looking at the lineup today, again, going back to that lineup, and I got down to Dean Curley. I think you can probably say after tonight that Mr. Laurie at second is probably going to be relegated to bench duty because he's had his chance in 4 games and did nothing to run away with that. Curley comes in first thing, 2 out of 3. 3 runs, 3 RBIs, a triple, a home run, a walk, and a fielder's choice ground out. So, I mean, put the ball in play, no strikeouts on the night. I mean, he got runners in, played good defense when he got the opportunities because on the fielding, it says he was charged with 2 assists on the night. So he fielded his position there, and, that's what you want. That's what Tennessee has been missing through his first few games is I really feel like range at shortstop. Christian Moore's done fine there, but it seemed to me, and I said it in my previews and stuff, I just don't know that he's a shortstop based on what I've seen up to that point. Can he play it? Yes. But, excuse me, the thing about Curley taking it tonight is it was assumed that Ariel Antigua was going to take the job. And then he got hurt. I mean, it's going to be they're going to have to take it from Curley right now after tonight, especially if he bounces back this weekend as well. With the way he showed range, he fielded his position, and he hit the ball tonight as well. Because Laurie, I didn't think he showed good range at second in the games he's played. I thought there were numerous plays when he's been in that he should have fielded, or that I don't know if he was out of position. And then he didn't hit either. But you got to be excited about Tennessee's middle infield moving forward. Because Christian Moore, this is going to be it for him this year. He's going to be off to the Major League Draft, and he's hitting well right now. Last I looked on here, they had him, according to D1 Baseball, on the year at 471, and that's through 5 games. That's pretty 474, 789 slugging, 565 on base, 1.355 OPS. So I've said it the whole time. I've been consistent with this. Christian Moore is my leadoff guy. I want my dude leading off. Christian Moore is the guy. Billy Amick is not far behind him as well. But the thing with Billy Amick, Billy Amick now has 3 home runs on the year, 7 RBIs. That 2-hole is the one to me that's interesting. Can Burke do it? I mean, Burke's average right now sitting 238. He's got 7 strikeouts. I just don't think Burke's a 2-hole guy. I just don't. And maybe something gets going there to where, he is in that. But I just don't think that I don't know. I'm curious to see where else it goes. And Peebles, you've got him for and again, I got down to Curley on that. And then after him, you had Dowling, 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. And Hunter Ensley moved to 9th tonight. Didn't foresee that one. I kind of suspected if they moved him, maybe around that 6 or 7 range, but 3 hits and 3 at-bats, 2 RBIs, a double, 2 runs. Good night for him as well. And that pushed his average up on the year to 286. So he needed that night tonight. Dylan Dowling's is at 316 for the year. Villeneuve still hitting at 500. Tiers at 385. The two that stand out to me against Burke at 238, Cannon Peebles at 118. So he's not come out of the gates just lighting it up. And Tony moved him down one game, moved him back up tonight. And, you know, I'm curious to see kind of where they go with that lineup, because he likes to go right, left, or left, right, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, Kavares Tiers, I don't think he's going to be any lower than fifth. Right now, the way he's hitting, I could foresee him going back to fourth. I could possibly see him going to second. Hey, thanks, Caleb. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being on here tonight. Appreciate the rest of you guys that are on here as well. Got 8 of you in here right now. If you know anybody that's Tennessee baseball fan, share it out. Share it out to get on here. I try to share it on Twitter, try to share it on Instagram. You know, it's just not taking yet. Did pretty good for a first time Saturday night. We'll see. This thing's a work in progress. It's going to take a lot of patience on my part, because obviously I want it to do well fast, and but we're up to 10 now. Again, you know anybody else that hasn't or something, share it on here. I'll probably go no more than another 30-minute mark at most on this. I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about, but do want to talk about those guys that got in tonight as well that normally don't get in. Kobe Backus, that's a guy out of Johnson City, played at Walter State, played at Daniel Boone High School. So he got in tonight, 1 for 2, hit a bomb. That's what they've talked about with Backus is his power. Well, he showed it tonight. He hit a bomb, had 3 RBIs. Dalton Bargo come in again, 0 for 2, 1 strikeout looking, and a fly out. This guy, Vitel's put him in the middle of the order. Maybe he's just off to a slow start. I'm not seeing it right now, but it's a guy that did play at Missouri. They wouldn't have taken him if they didn't like his potential. So it's hang on just. All right. Got one I just have to keep getting off here, and I will address that with this person tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But let's see what we got here. So still trying to think our Sunday. Yeah, I think so too. I totally agree with this. I talked about it a little bit earlier on that. I don't think Seacrest did anything to lock it down. I think that, though Snead, I still wonder if Snead is not a back of the bullpen guy based on how he threw with his speed and stuff. But I mean, he went 5 innings, threw 85 pitches on that. So maybe he's making a case to be that Sunday guy. Does one of these freshmen, do they work up? I think you'll continue to see the freshmen in the midweek roles. Vitel said last week, AJ Causey can start. I mean, he was Jacksonville State's Friday night guy last year. He can start if they need to. It's going to be Russell and Beam right now. And hopefully it's a case like last year where they basically had to throw the lineup with the pitchers out and go with something else, because they started the year Dolander, Burns, Beam. And frankly, Dolander didn't get it done last year. The one game I remember, I was at South Carolina and Tony pulled him, and Burns come in and got lit up. Burns is I'm not on that wagon anything against Burns. I'm not. He had to do what he had to do. I think something happened with both sides on that one. I'm not going to hate on the guy because he pitched his ass off in the NCAA tournament, and he never quit. I can't hate on the guy like that. If he would have quit on the team prior to that and probably knowing in advance that he was leaving, I would have had a problem with him. He had to do what he had to do on it. And, I don't know what conversations happened. You got to think he would have had a chance to be a starter again this year. But, he went to a really good program in Wake Forest. They've been having numerous first-round pitchers drafted on there. But, looking back, so I talked about Backus, Bargo, Alex Perry, again, got in. He got a walk in his one at bat. Charlie Taylor did not bat tonight. Reese Chapman got in, had a strikeout and a flyout, 0 for 2 for him. We saw Hunter High, a freshman, come in. I thought he had hit a home run at one point, and it ended up going foul, and then he ended up striking out on that. Bates, another freshman, come in 0 for 1 with the strikeout for him, and then Ethan Payne got his patented. He got a walk and a run. So good for him. Not a hit. I don't know. I don't remember last time Ethan Payne's gotten a hit when he's batted, but he got on base. He scored a run tonight. So good for him on that as well. So Tennessee on the night, looking at the team's stats. Let me find. So 16 runs, 13 hits. They did have one error. They only left 4 on base tonight. So that is something I like, because we know coming out of the weekend, they 30 left on base for that. 30 left on base. They didn't hit well last night, but the strikeouts were down. They didn't really have enough hits to leave guys on base last night. They did some small ball things last night. They did it a little bit tonight when it was 1-0. I mean, they got Tears in on the pass ball, the wild pitch. They trying to think. Well, when Burke struck out in the 3rd inning, Amick walked. Peebles, he put it in play. I thought it was a double play at first. It was hit slow enough that it enabled him to beat it out, and then it was on after that. I mean, just that little bit of putting it in play. That goes to show you that's what kills me about the strikeouts. It doesn't give you that chance there. Who knows what happens if Peoples doesn't put that one in play. But Tennessee rolled after that. So, again, I like seeing the left on base. The at-bats 32. They had 2 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, 6 walks. They did have 9 strikeouts tonight. I think you just got to accept with this team, they're going to strike out. They're going to strike out. This is, for the most, you're not going to see bunts out of this team. You're not going to see a lot of hit and run. You're not going to see a lot of that type stuff or anything. This is a team that's up there to get its hacks in. It's a team that is up there to really, I mean, they don't get shorted on it. They really don't. And again, with Curley, with Moore, with Amick, with Backus hitting home runs. And what I liked with Curley, nice home run. Thought he had 2. What I liked on that triple he had that he hit off the wall was I don't know if it's a slider. It was kind of a sinking type pitch, and he went with it and drove it to center. Did the pitcher hang it a little? Yes, but I liked how he went with it. He didn't try to, overcompensate, didn't try to overcorrect on it. He went with it and drove it and got that triple out of it. And who knows if he would have had, if there hadn't been the run rule, he may, and the announcer alluded to that, he may have had a shot at a cycle tonight, because you got to think he would have probably gotten a couple of bats. And I like that Tony left him in the whole game too, especially since he hasn't played the first 4 games. He's, if I'm not mistaken, the only one who didn't come out tonight. I'll have to look back at it in a minute, but it was good. He kept him in. OPS 1.406 tonight. Pitcher 7 innings, 21 put out, 6 assists on that as well. So, I mean, like I said, it's just a game to me that when I looked at it coming in, this McCarley guy pitched for ETSU. He threw 1 inning over the weekend. He was a lefty. He didn't throw that hard. He threw about mid-80s. He looked to me like a guy, one of those that just gives Tennessee trouble. He threw 1 inning against Lafayette. He struck out the side in that inning. And again, that talked about their offense. It just looked like one of those games, especially with Tennessee throwing younger guys, where it could possibly be a back and forth game. Yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. All right, it was a back and forth, just bomb for Tennessee from that 3rd inning on. But another good crowd in Knoxville, over 5,000 tonight. Of course, the new stadium with everything opened up with the new seats down the left field line as well. And not sure really how much more I can add to this tonight, other than just one of those games. I'm always cautious of an in-state game just because of what's happened last couple of years with Tennessee Tech. The times I've seen ETSU, I don't remember many times ETSU beating Tennessee, but they've given them a scare a lot of times. Well, that wasn't the case tonight. And then, just getting a lot of young guys, some action, and then, of course, those pitchers as well. Let's see, would you consider benching Burke right now and see if we can get any more production? I think it's too early for it right now. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it hasn't crossed my mind, but you're probably going with Villeneuve. I think Tiers can play a little first base. I think there's some other guys who can play it as well, but I think it's too early in the season to pull the plug on Burke. I really do. And I like that even though he struck out 7 times, I thought the first 2 games he looked bad. Um, Actually, he had that one hit against Oklahoma. He hit it back up the middle. I thought Sunday night he didn't look too good. And then he come up, late. And then he got that, it was basically an error, but it dropped. They gave him a hit, and then he hit a seed after that. I like that he's hitting through these shifts. And I can't stress this enough about the shift. ETSU got burned on that. And this is why I like Tennessee. These lefties were just dribbling it to that hole where the shortstop's playing. A shift, what a shift is, replace the FT with a T. That's what a shift is. I hate them. I think they're stupid. And I don't think they work most of the time. Okay? You get, how many times, if a guy hits through the shift, it means the damn thing didn't work to begin with. All right? And if you shift over too far and they just hit a dribbler through a hole, the damn thing didn't work again to begin with. I mean, I've argued with people. I guess this is part of this analytics crap. And, I had an analytics guy trying to tell me last year Mike Trout was the greatest player that's ever played baseball. And that's, that's a load of BS if there ever was one. The analytics stuff, there's a time and a place for it. There's some stuff it's all right, but a lot of this shifting and over analyzing and all this stuff, it's not it. Baseball's baseball. You forget the ball, you catch the ball, you field the ball. That's what it is. I can't remember the line from Bull Durham, but bunch of lollygaggers, basically what he said. But due to ETSU shift, Tennessee got some extra opportunities where if you're not in that shift, they don't get those opportunities. I don't like it when Tennessee does it either, but for every time it works, there's probably numerous times it doesn't work. I don't know if there's data that backs up the shift. I'm sure there's something out there that backs it all up. But good night. Good night. I know it's ETSU. I know it's not an SEC game, but one hit on the night, 16 runs. They really broke out tonight, and it was good to see. Again, I like the lineup tonight. I don't know that I keep Burke in that 2-hole, but we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up right here. I think I'm kind of spinning the tires at this point, but the plan is this weekend I'll probably go live Friday night, and then we'll look at Saturday with basketball game. I think basketball game's at 8:00. I may just wait and go live after that. I don't know that a Saturday afternoon games will get it much. Not that any of these others have or not, other than the first night. But this is the thing with this brand. Just go keep building it. You guys that tune in with me, I appreciate you. I can't do this without any support. If I wasn't getting shares, likes, all those things, it wouldn't even be worth doing. So I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. I hope you'll enjoy your Wednesday. I hope you'll tune in with me this weekend. Like I said, Friday night plan is to go live after the first game of the Albany series. Saturday, I think I'll probably wait and do a basketball stream. Then Sunday, I'll wrap up the series, talk about that, talk about what's ahead for the next week with Tennessee baseball. And it's like I've told you guys, my thing with this channel, I'm going to cover all 3 of the main sports: baseball, basketball, football. But my main thing with this is to build a baseball brand. There's other outlets that cover it. They cover it just, they may talk about once or twice a week or something. This one, we pretty consistent with putting that content out on it. And basketball's going that same way. I'm getting ready to explore more into the live show game with basketball, especially with the 2 weeks they've got coming out. They've got A&M Saturday, and then you've got the big 2 weeks, Bama, South Carolina, Auburn, Kentucky, SEC tournament, NCAA tournament. Things are just cranking up with basketball. Should be a fun last, hopefully, 5 to 6 weeks of basketball coming up. When am I going live for the Lady Vols? I guess whenever you're free and ready there, Elam, I guess we'll just we'll make it a 2-way duo. We'll do, maybe we can catch a Lady Vols basketball, Lady Vols softball doubleheader that we can hit live, and I'll get you on here with me. I'll send you all the stuff and get you set up on that. But let's go ahead and get out of here, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Tennessee rolls 16-0. My name's Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a good Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. And as always, go Vols.